Yo, America, 16 years old. First job, Pizza Palace. It was everything you'd expect. Greasy aprons, cheesy slogans, and enough dough to make even a banker blush. The smell of melted cheese and fresh dough was intoxicating. I was just stoked to be earning some of my own green, you know? Finally, I could buy those sneakers I'd been eyeing for months. Little did I know, my second day on the job would be more dramatic than an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Seriously, it was like something out of a movie. It was a Friday night, and the place was buzzing like a beehive full of sugar-crazed bees. The orders were flying in, and the kitchen was a whirlwind of activity. My shift was supposed to end at 10 p.m., but my trainer, Tina, a woman who could rock a hairnet like nobody's business, asked me to stay late to help with closing. Tina was a pro, and I wanted to learn from the best. I was like, sure, why not? More time to perfect my pizza tossing skills. Famous last words, right? I thought it would be a breeze. As the clock ticked past closing time, the last few customers trickled out, leaving just me, Tina, and that unmistakable post-pizza rush silence. The place felt eerily calm. We were wiping down tables, the only sound the rhythmic squeak of the sponge against the laminate, when the unthinkable happened. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. A tall, shadowy figure appeared at the door. My heart skipped a beat. He was wearing a hoodie pulled low over his face, and something about him just screamed bad news. I could feel the tension in the air, and I knew this was not going to end well. Now Tina, she was a tough cookie. She'd probably wrestled more dough than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so I wasn't too worried at first. She had this aura of invincibility, like nothing could shake her. She was the kind of person who could stare down a storm and make it back off. But then, the guy started walking towards us, his hand tucked suspiciously inside his hoodie pocket. It was like a scene straight out of a thriller movie, and suddenly, the air felt thick with tension. My heart started doing the cha-cha in my chest. Each beat felt like a drum pounding in my ears, and I could feel the adrenaline kicking in.
"We're closed, man. You need to leave,"
Tina called out, her voice firm, but I could see a flicker of unease in her eyes. It was subtle, but it was there, a tiny crack in her otherwise unshakable demeanor. The guy didn't even flinch. He just kept coming, his eyes darting around the restaurant like he was casing the joint. It was clear he had something on his mind, and it wasn't good. He stopped right in front of the counter, just a couple of feet away from us. The distance felt like it was closing in, making the space between us shrink.
"Yeah, I see that, but I'm here for a different kind of delivery, something special, you know?"
He gave a creepy chuckle, one that sent shivers down my spine. It was the kind of laugh that made you want to look over your shoulder. And I swear I could practically smell the pepperoni pizza fear. It was like the room had suddenly turned into a pressure cooker, sweating out of my pores. Every drop felt like a tiny reminder of the danger we were in. This wasn't some late-night craving for extra cheese talking. This was something far more sinister, something that made my heart race and my palms sweat. This was the real deal, the kind of situation you only hear about in news stories or see in movies. Tina's eyes widened, and she subtly inched towards the silent alarm button under the counter. Her fingers trembled as she reached for it, trying to stay calm. I, on the other hand, felt like I was glued to the spot, unable to move or even think clearly, my feet heavier than a deep dish with all the toppings. It was as if the weight of the world had suddenly settled on my shoulders.
"Don't try anything funny, I've got a gun." His voice was cold, devoid of any emotion, and it sent chills down my spine.
He leaned in close, his breath hot and stale on my ear. A gun. The word itself seemed to hang in the air, heavy and ominous. The word echoed in my head like a death knell. My mind raced, trying to figure out what to do next. I'd seen enough episodes of Law and Order to know how this played out. But this wasn't TV. This was real life, and the stakes were much higher. My life flashed before my eyes. Pizza dough flying through the air, awkward first dates, moments of joy and sorrow. My mum yelling at me to take out the trash. It was all so normal, so mundane yet so precious. And now it was about to be over because some dude wanted a fistful of cash and a side of pepperoni. It seemed so absurd, so surreal. Yet it was happening right in front of me.
"Tristan, stay calm. We need to get everyone out safely."
Tina's voice was steady, even though her eyes betrayed a hint of fear.
"Everyone, follow Tina and Tristan. Head towards the back exit."
"What's happening? Are we being robbed?"
The panic was palpable as the employees and customers scrambled towards the door, hearts pounding in their chests.
Tristan, call 911. We need help now.
With shaking hands, I dialed the number, my heart racing.
And call your mom. Let her know you're safe.
I nodded, feeling a mix of relief and anxiety. Superheroes call for backup too, right?
All right, I need to know exactly what happened. Start from the beginning.
We were just working, and then this guy came in waving a gun.
The detective's calm demeanor helped, but I still felt jittery.
And you did the right thing by getting everyone out. That was quick thinking.
Tina and I exchanged a glance. Maybe, just maybe, we were superheroes after all.